righty. Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on our spring premiere today. Thank you for joining the English, Linguistics, and Professional Writing session. Today, we've got Dr. Dell, Dr. Butler, and Dr. Palma to share with us a little bit more about their department. They're going to go through each of their presentations, and there's going to be a little bit of time at the end for questions. So I highly encourage y'all, if you'll come up with anything throughout the presentations, put that in the Q&A, put it in the chat, and we'll be happy to answer those at the end. My name is JD Telford. I work in the undergraduate admissions office here at Baylor. And so if you do have any questions, maybe after the presentation, please feel free to shoot me an email as well. And be happy to direct you wherever you need to go. But thanks so much for coming. We're going to go ahead and kick it off now with Dr. Dell.
Good morning. I'm so happy to be here with my colleagues, and I'm just going to get started talking about what a wonderful department we work for and what a great community of students we serve. So we have three majors, just so you know, just to get us started. It's a really vibrant department. We have over 200 majors, English, which is the literature part, professional writing and rhetoric, which Dr. Palma will talk about, and then linguistics, which Dr. Butler will talk about. We also have three minors, and one of our really popular ones, of course, is creative writing. Wanted to talk about what engaging instruction you will have once you enter the English department at Baylor, what an exciting place it is for us and for you. So we have 40 full-time faculty. It's a large department, and we're all very invested in the Baylor mission, very invested in the university and in our students. So we're not just we recently received that R1 status, and humanities led the way, in fact, in R1, but we are just as committed to classroom teaching, to student mentoring, to encouraging student research. And this image right here on the, I guess it would be on your right-hand side, is of students with their professor, Dr. Ford, presenting their research in the spring. We're just as invested in that as we are in research, because we believe the two really work together. Plus, I mean, that's been Baylor's mission always, is to teach students. So we're very interested in inspiring your moral, intellectual, and spiritual values. Just to talk briefly about the department and how active and engaged it is, we are very involved in giving different opportunities to our students, such as enriching student events through the Bell Poetry Festival, through many lectures by top scholars. And what we like to do is bring students in at the level that appeals to students, and bring students in to talk to scholars and listen to poets and so forth in a way that includes you all as well. We're also just as involved in, bringing students in through study abroad. Dr. Butler, in fact, has participated in several different study abroad programs that have been wonderful. We have them semester long, and we also have them 5-week summer programs, and they work with different classes that we offer in our department so that you can usefully use your summer or semester long experience abroad. We also have a number of wonderful active student organizations. Two I'll mention right here: Sigma Tau Delta, which is a national organization, and two of our faculty just took students, I believe it was to Atlanta, to the national conference to present papers and help them with their professionalization. We also have the Phoenix Literary Magazine, which is awesome, produces work every semester. Now I'm going to talk briefly about the English literature major. Obviously, English literature is at the core of the humanities. In our classes, you will focus on British and American literature, explore all the big ideas, perspectives, and cultural changes that are important to the literature you read. Our faculty are extremely interested in encouraging a distinctly empathetic worldview and fostering debate with you about the ethical implications of the literature. They want to challenge you to write and think deeply as you seek truth and beauty in the literature itself. We want you to know that studying literature at Baylor will help prepare you for a wide variety of professional opportunities. The critical reading, analytical thinking, and clear communication skills are really valuable in just about every area in life. We are eager to help you meet the challenges of this new century and help you build the skills you need to work towards your particular goals, whether it be professional school, law school, public service, education, and so forth. English literature includes a thorough mastery of British and American literature. We give a very strong foundation. That's our traditional strength, but we're also interested in new approaches. For example, we're very interested in the new digital research. We're very interested in helping you think in more contemporary ways about literature. We offer a wide variety of courses focused in every possible area, major authors, any way that you might want to work. These are a list of our courses. You can see sophomore, junior, senior level courses with electives. So it's a busy and exciting and vibrant experience for you all. What will the classroom experience be like? Small class sizes, discussion-based, text-based analysis, focus on literature and culture, logical, evidence-based reasoning, understanding people and text. And here's just one example of students working on digital research and presenting it at the Armstrong Browning Library. Finally, what will you gain from an English major? Creative analysts, masterful writers, empathetic, socially aware professionals. And what profession will you choose? That's up to you, whether you go in teaching, law, medicine, whether you want to found a company, that's up to you. I'm Dr. Elizabeth Dell, and I'm now going to turn it over to Mike, Dr. Mike Palma. Thank you so much.
Well, good morning. Really glad to be here with you today and excited to share some information about the professional writing and rhetoric major in the English department. So expert writers are highly valued in professional, academic, civic contexts. So our goal in the professional writing and rhetoric major is to really help you develop expertise in research, in design, in writing, in editing work, all of which, animate writing in a range of different contexts. So if we think about the ways that writing mediates all activity, right, whether it be, writers for Amazon, writers who are working in public advocacy, writers who are working in nonprofit organizations, this is at the center of what we do in our information age. Companies spend $3.1 billion annually to train writers, right, who are coming out of their undergraduate education, so that they can really kind of contribute to that work in the professional sphere. And that's the way that we think about the work in our major. And so one of the key facets of the major is developing versatility. We want writers who come out of the major to have rhetorical dexterity, to be able to work across a range of different genres, media, contexts. And so when we think about writing, right, as not something that's a generalizable skill that you kind of learn once and then statically import across situations, but rather something that you have to learn and relearn and adapt, right, as you move into different communication situations. That's really kind of central to the thinking that undergirds the work in our major. And so you'll learn to do work in the various classes that you take, doing social media marketing writing, writing grant proposals, writing flyers and brochures, doing things like digital stories and podcasts, doing journal articles, persuasive essays, feature stories. All of that contributes, again, to the range and really trying to expand the repertoire of the writers who graduate from the major. Also, writing, right, is about problem solving. It's about thinking about what are the choices that are appropriate for each given situation. And so part of what the writing major does is help students develop deep expertise about writing, about rhetoric, as subjects of study, not just as practices and things that we do, but things that we can know about, right? That ultimately help us think through what's appropriate in a given situation. So we do work where you're learning about theories of argumentation, theories of storytelling, theories of remediation, theories of multimodality. And so that connection between the theories of writing, conceptions of writing, ideas about writing, and the application and practice really is important to all of the work in the courses that you'll take. helping students be creative professionals, right? Who are prepared both to thrive in the internship work that they'll do as part of the major, and then also in the professional and civic spheres beyond the university are also really important to the major. So a lot of our courses have community-based writing projects where you're working with nonprofit organizations, businesses, not just simply writing in the context of a course for one instructor, but writing for multiple multi-layered audiences, which is often the case, right, when you move into professional work. And then we have a lot of opportunities for undergraduate research and publication. So we have a course in undergraduate research and publication where students will develop an original research project from a question of origin, right, that's open and exciting to them, and then publish that in an undergraduate research journal. Working in the writing center is also a key piece of formation for the writers who are in our major, right? So learning how to not only think about your own writing, but to talk to other people about how to develop their expertise as writers, their thinking as writers is a significant part of that. So internship work, we have several students who do some fantastic internships in Waco, so places like Magnolia, Baylor University Press, Baylor University Law School, but we also have students who do their internships all over the country. So we've had people at Disney, Penguin Random House, people who work for the FBI. And this is important, right, to be able to put that knowledge, put that expertise that you have as a writer into an actual context and put it to work. And then you have a writing portfolio, right, that you develop when you go out on the job market, not just say, hey, I have expertise in these areas, but you can actually demonstrate, right, through all of that writing that you collect in your professional portfolio that this is expertise that you have. These are some of the careers, right, that students have gone into from the major. We also have students in recent years, several who've gone on to PhD programs in rhetoric and writing studies, also students who've gone on to do MFAs in creative nonfiction. Many students go into law school. In terms of the degree requirements, we have 3 core courses that students take, and then lecture courses, which really emphasize that knowledge about writing and rhetoric. The workshop courses really speak to that versatility piece, right? Writing across the different genres and media. And then there's opportunities to do elective courses in all the excellent literature courses that are taught. And we have elective courses where you have opportunities to take courses in linguistics, right? Creative writing, or additional courses in literature. And so, the department, as Dr. Dell said, right, is really thriving, and we're excited about the kind of cross-pollination that happens in the department. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Dr. Butler to talk about linguistics.
All right, well, great. Thank you. Thank you all. So my name's Clay Butler, and I teach in the linguistics major here. I've done it for 20 years, and I want to talk to you about that program. So first off, I think I should probably take a moment to say exactly what is linguistics. It's often kind of confusing for people. It's the study of language, right? Study of language, not a specific language, like we're not studying Spanish or French or whatever. We're studying language as a human ability, study language as a human ability, and the systems that are there. And we open up the hood of language, and we look inside, and we'll look into things, we'll study things. We have core courses in, like syntax, where we think about the nature of sentences and how sentences come together in phrases and how we create meanings from those sentences. Morphology, so how we build up words. We talk about the history of how languages change and how the structures of words change over time. Also phonology, the sound systems. We talk in our classes about the rules and systems for how we produce sounds with our mouth, and also pragmatics. And this is more like the tools of communication, how we have a conversation, how we show politeness, how we tease, how we do all the different things we do, the way we perform meaningful communication, not just at a technical level, but maybe now at a social level. Okay, what kind of courses we take? Well, the list I just gave you is our primary courses: syntax, phonology, pragmatics, but we also take courses in other areas of linguistics, like language and culture, how culture influences language, and then how language influences culture. Also how people learn first languages and second languages as an adult, second language. The history of languages, of course, and then bilingualism, what's the role, the psychological role of speaking multiple languages. And then also kind of do a tour of the United States and the rest of the world for all the English dialects. I won't give you the full layout of our degree plan, but I wanted to highlight that within our major, we emphasize studying multiple languages. So everyone getting a BA will study 3 semesters of some foreign language. We add to additional language to this, and we make space for it within the major courses that you take 4 semesters of the less commonly studied. Basically, we're saying not Spanish, not French, not German. We're saying study Chinese, study Japanese, study Korean, Russian, Arabic. Baylor has a lot of different languages. In the minor, people who do a minor in linguistics don't have to do that extra language. They do almost the exact same courses. They just don't do the extra language 4 semesters of a language component. I like to spend a moment on that just to say linguistics is a major for people who love languages. If you love languages, we're a pretty good place for you. And the kinds of careers that people get, very commonly, people will go from linguistics into speech therapy. That's a very common thing for our students to graduate and go on to get certified as speech therapists. Usually that requires a BS in speech therapy. And we also go on to be language teachers as they're studying Russian, for example, in one of their languages, then they'll go on to be a Russian teacher or English teachers as well. Another good group is translators. We have students who go on to be translators, pretty commonly to Wycliffe Bible translators. We're not that far from the headquarters for Wycliffe Bible translators. They're in Dallas. And also just people who do missions work, and lawyers as well, and software developers doing artificial intelligence. So there are a lot of different careers that are where being a specialist in language and the precision of languages is very important. Before I wrap up, the last thing I wanted to talk about, Dr. Dell mentioned study abroad. So the English department does, professors from the English department go all over the world and all the variety of study abroads that Baylor offers. But there's one program that the English department owns. It's housed in the English department, and we sponsor. It's the Baylor in New Zealand program. It's a summer trip where it's faculty led. And we do some of our courses there, like world literature, where we do New Zealand authors. And then we also do a course called travel writing, where we write about the experiences we're having and allow us to reflect on it. And if you're interested in that, of course, you can learn more for Baylor New Zealand on our website. But I just highlight to you that it's the one program where we have control over who's admitted, and we can prefer our own majors between English, professional writing, and linguistics. All right, thank you.
All righty. Well, thank you all so much for telling us some more. Folks, if y'all have any questions, feel free to put that into either the Q&A or the chat. Be happy to get those answered for you. I do have one actually before going to some of those. What is the most interesting course that y'all feel that y'all teach and would encourage these students to sign up for once they got here?
Can I go first? I have a language and culture course I highlighted on the list, and it's the most fun course for me, partly because our linguistics majors and the students who are attracted to that travel the world. You know, they've done a study abroad, or they've lived someplace with their family as missionaries, or oil business or something like that. And it's so interesting to have them come, and I'll talk about some theory and they bring all the examples. So that's a very fun course for me.
There are several that I can think of in the major that would be of interest to students taking the literature sequence, majoring in literature. There are several that are super valuable, that are doing like lots of really cool research and would help really build some excellent skills and also widen experiences in terms of, say, digital research. And that would be some of the Victorian classes that Dr. King teaches. I'd say a fun class that a lot of students like, that's taught every few years, is the Harry Potter class. A lot of students love that one. Let me think. There are lots of favorites having to do with favorite authors. So, Dr. Palma.
Yeah, it's really hard to choose. I think, as both my colleagues said, there are so many exciting courses that people teach. We have a new media writing and rhetoric course that's really exciting, a writing for social change course, a couple of courses in creative nonfiction, students love. One of my personal favorites to teach is a course in spiritual writing. It ties to the research that I do on intersections of religion and rhetoric. Students in that course do things like a spiritual autobiography, a virtue essay, right, where they're thinking about what are unacknowledged virtues that they want others to contemplate or consider, or this I believe essay. And it's a great space to kind of connect with students and things that are deeply meaningful to them in a way that they're able to kind of use writing to think through and come to understanding about those things. So I'd say that's one of my favorite personally to teach, but there's lots of exciting work happening across the major.
So we do have we do have a question. Which major would I choose for a career in writing novels?
Well, we do have creative writing courses, of course. That's not a major, it's a minor, but certainly you would probably want to take advantage of some of those courses. We have a number of courses in creative writing that are on learning how to write imaginative work, on imaginative prose, creative prose. And there's some wonderful published people in that area, also young adult. I would say, obviously, I teach literature. So I think the more you read literature, the better off you are in terms of writing literature. So I would strongly encourage the literature major.
Let's see. What course should I take if I want to write screenplays?
Yeah, there's actually a course in script and screenplay writing that's taught in the department. We have people who are active screenwriters. Mark Olson is one who he's got several, screenplays, right, that he sent out and had, accepted. Students also, with majors in our department, we often have double majors in, literature, linguistics, professional writing, rhetoric, and film and digital media. So doing courses, where you're thinking both within the department where you can get that experience, and then also there are places outside to supplement as well. And I'd say all three of our majors are structured in ways that they are low enough credit hours that actually allow for you to do that double major or secondary major. And so that's something always to consider as well.
Got another one. What would the average class size be for a linguistics major?
Well, I think we match pretty well with the English department in general, that we keep our class size as well, under 20 for sure, and often they're in the 12 to 15 range. Some of the earlier courses, we have a 1,000 level freshman. We have a freshman level course, and it'll sometimes get to be 25 or so. But other than that, our courses are generally a dozen to 15, never more than 20. And we work at that. We'll create a new section of a course or try to offer it more often if it grows more popular, whether we have higher demand for it.
I just wanted to mention that one of our majors from a couple of years ago, one of their students who majored in linguistics from our department just won a Fulbright, and I think she's going to South America. I'm trying to remember.
Colombia. Yeah, she's going to Colombia. She specialized in Spanish while she was here.
And
we're very happy for her.
Tremendous honor.
All right. Well, that looks like the last of the questions. And if y'all do come up with anything that you think of, later on this afternoon. Dr. Palma said, if you're interested in professional writing and rhetoric, please feel free to contact me. And he's got his email address there in the chat. And if you do have any questions or you're not sure who to ask, you can always reach out to me. I'd be happy to point you in the right direction. We hope that you enjoy the rest of your time here during spring premiere. And if you do come up with anything else, please don't hesitate to ask. Okay, here we can get this last one in. Would there be any opportunities for missions during study abroad programs?
I'll handle that. It's just that there are lots of mission opportunities at Baylor and in Waco. So the spiritual life offers lots and lots of different trips all over the world during the spring break times, during the summer times, over Christmas break as well. You can join in on those, but also Waco has a very vibrant church community with lots of churches focusing in on missions, and they'll say they take mission trips all around the world during all the regular kinds of breaks. And I know our students are regularly joining in on those, and it's a great chance to reflect on kind of their experience away. You know, what was it like to live in a new culture for a short period of time and interact there? So yes, there are lots of mission trips going through Baylor, just Baylor, and then also through the Waco community.
All right. Excellent. Well, again, thank you all so much. We hope you have a great rest of your day.